Mm-hmm. Right, people, we are sorry. We are sorry. I just cannot explain what happened. A couple of seconds ago, we were already live with you, and suddenly we just went off. So if you're joining me, don't give up. We're right here, okay? We're right here with you. And our sister Reparation is sitting beautifully here in the studio from Accra. And we want to have a beautiful time. It's been a while. So I hope you connecting, that you didn't give up and you didn't think that this dream, you know, or something is happening to us. So where are you? Where are you? Join, join. Thank you. If you join, please just make sure you share because we were already live and something just happened. So I don't know what. So let me just jingle and
You are watching the Pan African Daily TV with Dr. Susan Tata. The Africa we want: unity, consciousness, our culture, our spirituality, our history. One Africa for Africans worldwide. Motherland's calling its diaspora home. Join my voice. Join my team. Join my campaign. Campaign 21 hashtag 1 million subscribers on the Pan African Daily TV YouTube. Be a volunteer. Apply now. Be the new Africa.
okay, my beautiful people, my beautiful African people, my beautiful non-African people, my beautiful people of the world. I want to thank you. I want to salute all of you that are connected. Oh my God. Reparations, like you just bringing everybody along with you today. I mean, I see the people of Ghana, the Ashanti people, okay? They're like, now we day here. Like we are on the spot. So I want to greet all of you. Today is Sunday, and I know you've been resting. Most of you have been going to the church house. Some people just chill around, clean their neighborhoods, clean their house, and a lot of people just rest at home with their families, or just read a book, or just lazily and do nothing. Because today is the day where we refresh to start up another day tomorrow. So we have in studio with our sister, like I said. Thank you, Mr. Brown. Thank you for joining. I hope you're still in Uganda. Are you still in Uganda, Mr. Brown? Share your location. Share your location. We want to salute your community out there that is backing you. Yeah, so we have our sister here in the studio with me. You all know her. I mean, she's a correspondent for Ghana. Very soon she's gonna be hosting on Pan African Daily TV Ghana. Okay, and yeah, so our sister has a beautiful, impactful story, like each and every one of us. You know, we have these Africans that have made both experiences in the diaspora and on the continent, you know, like myself. So I relate a lot to her. We share a lot of, you know, the differences growing up in Africa and then moving into the diaspora, making experiences into the diaspora, and then back to Africa. So we want to share these experiences, we want to share her story. We want to find out the reason, because a lot of young people are like, oh my God, America? I just want to go to America. Most people are selling land, no matter what you say, selling properties, their houses. Even parents, you know, just want their kids to look for a better life somewhere, apart from the continent. But you've been there, you're a citizen, you have all the, you know, I mean, all the sort of things that people think is out there, but you coming back to the continent and saying, no, I have to stay. Home is where my heart is. There's no place like home. There's no place like my beautiful country, Ghana. And I'm also coming because of the projects that we need to fix homeland, and we cannot fix it in the diaspora. So I want to thank a lot of you that are joining and connecting. Please make sure you're inviting one another as we, you know, start the beautiful journey and the life journey and the beautiful story of this powerful sister. Don't worry because you see her like that. She's a number. She's just sitting quiet, ignorant, and having this kind of, you know, innocent outlook. But This one right here, she's something else, you know. She is the power woman, as you can see her. So, sister, how are you, reparations? I mean, just your name, reparations.
I'm good, Queen Tata, and thank you so much for this opportunity. Before I go ahead and talk a little bit about my story, but mainly I'm here for the push of reparations and to impact the lives of Black people globally. I have a plan that could execute this within 3 days. But before I go further, I'd like to say rest in peace to our 23 babies who died in Kenya. It's sad. It shouldn't happen. They are ancestors now. We have to learn to honor our ancestors, send them off happy. Because individually, Africans, some of us are doing fantastic. But globally, as a unit, it's a sad story. And we need to catapult ourselves and get to where we need to be and stop failing the youth. I am here back in Africa because I could no longer sit and watch. Since the day I found out that over 400 factories that Kwame Nkrumah built within a 9-year period of his presidency are all rotten. Since then, I've never been the same. There's no excuse for where we are, and we must fix this. So, Black people, their strength in numbers. There is no need for us to die on the streets anymore for our humanity. Every step that has ever been taken in a march, we can never ever underestimate this. But they've killed us too much, and there's no need for that. Look at the coups that are happening in Burkina Faso and all that. Not even a single Black person was killed in that. Revolution doesn't need us to shed our blood anymore. Once again, rest in peace, those children, those soldiers, those souls that died for us in Kenya. We can't let that blood be wasted. Black people, we are the engine to this world. There's an awakening that has happened. And there's no question that we run this world. The West could not survive for a month without our resources. We have to gain this power. We have to impact our lives. There's no need for a Black person on this earth to ever be poor again. Considering the work we have put in, reparations can be gained as little as in 3 days. Let's take America, for instance, but this applies globally. America, the Black people, like all over the world, they are the engine to America. They built it, they run it. These are the things that Martin Luther King was killed for. Malcolm X was killed for this because he wanted us to shut down Wall Street. Because 3 days, if Black people were to stay in their homes, not go to work, not socialize, not involve themselves in the society, companies will shut down. Don't be able to operate. Lives will shut down. People will recognize the power that we have and what we do in that country. Once again, I will never undermine one step in any march that has been taken. But there's so many options. We don't have to be killed anymore to march.
Hmm.
We don't have to be rude to each other. We don't have to be mean. We don't have to be selfish. We don't have to be selfish. Reparations
I think she's having some
because we
internet
want a
challenges.
justice.
Oh boy, what's happening with
Rape your
you? Can you? Oh, thank God. Go ahead, sister. You were just freezing, so we didn't hear. most of the stuff that you started saying, like we don't have to die on the street for expressing our constitutional right or our opinions, isn't it? Go ahead.
Yeah. Imagine, for our safety and for a clear message that we no longer want to be part of your system. When white people had to segregate to get where they needed to get to, they segregated. I am for segregation so black people get where we need to be. We're sending a clear message that you can't do nothing without us. Watch us stay at home for 3 days. Your businesses will collapse. Your lives will not be able to run. And we're telling you, we will not allow you to touch us anymore. We demand reparations. Reparations can be given. When people talk about reparations, they don't understand the need for reparations. It's for self-respect. How can a crime be committed against you and you allow the people to go scot-free without any accountability? We need accountability. Through accountability, we will gain respect. If we don't have respect, we will have nothing like our present condition. They need to pay and make sure that it never ever happens again. It's long overdue. People say, how would you tell the people that qualify for reparations? The same way when you're filling any application form, you pick black African American, and you are there. That bill to your bank account. At the same time, we go live on all social media platforms globally. They will shut down. They won't even be able to take the load. It will shut down. At the same time, Africa gets their reparations. Look at this Momo. The way Ghanaians are abused by MTN in Ghana, even MTN paying Ghanaians reparations and the whole of Africa reparations will immediately impact positively every black person's life on the continent and abroad. They pay reparations. We shut down all the embassies, like what is going on in Burkina Faso and other African countries. All companies shut down. Staffs held till reparations are paid. And these reparations go straight onto the Momo, to the individual African before even to the government. Because right now, a lot of our governments can't run it. Ruto must go. Nanado must go. There must be a revolution. All these people need to be jailed. We need accountability. Black people have suffered for too long and there is no need for that. So I vote that we go on a 3-day demonstration. We stay at home. We don't involve ourselves in them. We demand our reparations till some stimulus immediate bill is passed. We don't go back. We organize ourselves. We engage the young people on virtual context. They go live on their platforms. We get resources for rent. We get resources for unions, for people that will be terminated because they took those 3 days off. And there will be a lot of casualties in this. But to die demanding their rights. So that is what we need to do something. In terms of coming back home, I no longer want to play this part of a modern slave. So I came back home. My spirit will not allow me to stay abroad. I share my platform where I make a brofo because really and truly, I'm not supposed to even be speaking English. That's one of the main reasons I came back, so that I can be in an environment where I can speak my language. I can be true to myself. Black people, we are losing respect for ourselves. The youth do not respect their elders anymore, rightfully. Look at our governments. There's no excuse for it. And the beauty of Africa is we can do coups peacefully, and it just takes one day to change all of this. Within a week, if we organize ourselves, America all the diaspora countries stay at home 3 days. In Africa, the embassies are getting shut down. The young people too are staying in their homes for 3 days. They're not going on the streets anymore. You don't get to kill us no more. That ends. We can't do it anymore. The Rutos, the Nanados, all of those people going to jail. We cannot women resources. We have people. There's no more excuse for it. We need to organize ourselves. I vote for the Black African American holiday that is celebrated for a week at the end of the year, to start our 3-day stay-at-home demonstration. As I said, this is nothing new under the sun. Martin Luther King wanted to do this, shut down Wall Street. Malcolm X wanted to do this. When Martin Luther King died, after where they shot him, when he was going back, that's exactly what he had come to do with his people. Shut down Wall Street. Let them know we run this. We are the engine to the world. We have no more excuses.
Thank you very much, sister. I'm so sorry about the internet. I know Ghana is Ghana.
And in terms of the diaspora coming back, I knew exactly what I was coming to.
We cannot hear you. Do you want to refresh? Can you even hear me? Yeah, I mean, she's right there in Accra, Ghana, and we understand how it is out there in Ghana. Ghana is not new to us with the internet connections and stuff. I think she is to refresh, and yeah, but we've been planning this conversation. Even yesterday we tested, and there was no way for her to connect because it were heavy rains out there in Accra, and today we were even lucky. We just said let's just jump on. I mean, you could hear her. Pan-African Daily TV, we give voices for people to express themselves, for Africans to actually air out this trauma that they've been carrying. It's just but normal that at some point, some truth must be told. It's just so normal that at some point, women cannot wait to see our babies being murdered, killed, for just asking for a change or sharing their opinion and their perspective. So what is safe around here? You know, we can play around with words. We cannot play around with lives of people. Okay. So our sister has been a revolutionary, not just today, ever since she was a child. Anything that doesn't fit, doesn't sit, she speaks out with no fear or favor. She actually left America and came to Ghana and went to the president's office and said, Mr. President, you have to go. If there is no electricity in Ghana, there's no food, there's no road, there's no security, there's just no reason why you're in office. Okay, so thank you, sister. You're back. You're back. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Sister Reparation? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. It's a bit short.
Your internet is just freezing. Go ahead. I just want to allow you to, because you have a problem with the connection. Just go ahead. Share your story.
Yes. Look, common internet connection even we don't have.
Yes.
And we have all the resources. If we hold our resources, don't give it to them anymore, we could be the next iPhone. You see why China is so obsessed with Africa? because they know that Africa is the next made in China. But China have a reputation of producing rubbish, low quality products. Another thing that has to happen is China must be thrown out of Africa. Africa is flooded with factory reject items from China. I vowed I'll never walk into that China mall. But you can't escape it. You will buy some. So I have bought it from maybe my fellow brothers and sisters shop, but it's still made in China. It's very hard not to buy made in China. And the quality. And it's not like in the diaspora that you can get your receipt, get your money back. No, this is all abuse. Nobody cares about us. We have to care about ourselves. And people, look, there are strength in numbers. As I said, no child has to ever die again from a demonstration. This is where we set history. Look, evolution is happening. There's change all around us. And we have to jump on board and get onto the other side. Look, the iPhone. What would the iPhone be without resources in Africa? We can revolutionize all of this, take over the market. But instead of having a reputation of China, we have extreme quality, top-notch, uncompromised, no logistics. The materials haven't been shipped. It's right here in Africa. Imagine we using those materials to make the latest phones. There's some technology that they're saying that our skin can radiate, what do you call this thing?
Energy.
3D. Wi-Fi, like transmit even. Everything could be coming from Ghana, should be coming from West Africa. We have to ban all imports. We can't allow that anymore. And all of this, as Dr. Tata always talks about the 2063 summit, it's all there. It's all there. And we don't even have to think too hard. What we don't even know has already been existing. Better systems are even there. We just have to copy. We just have to be serious. We just have to organize ourselves and stand strong in numbers. There was a recent demonstration in Ghana. They wanted to do like what they did in Kenya, kill more. But when they saw the people, they were even shaking. Because at the end of the day, there is strength in numbers. And I told you, you don't even have to go on the streets no more. Stay in your house. 3 days. Companies will not run. Look at when COVID first came. Do you think back to those images when the streets were just bare? There are different ways to get your voices out there. And we have social media now. Imagine all Black people globally go live on all social media platforms for 3 days running. We organize concerts to engage the young people who would want to be there. And we educate them. And we have a chance to finally get reparations. Reparations are paid every day. America pays reparations yearly to Japan, to everybody. Count the amount of Black people in America. It wouldn't even touch the budget for them to pay even a measly just 1 million to every Black person in America and globally. Look at the money these people owe us, African nations, especially like the West African nations, the Francophone, French, once ruled French nations, 85% of their revenues. Calculate all of that back, even 1 million. And that 1 million will change lives.
Okay.
Drastically. And once again, it will have accountability. And I think I'm going to close soon. I don't know because this internet won't allow it. But everything else, it will unite us immediately. And what the world is so afraid to see happen will be a united Africa, a united Black race globally. It will do that instantly. Once again, we have time to mobilize. This is 3 days that we can do something to just change. Look, if we are not careful, we'll be put back another 400, 4,000 years because there's a revolution. The COVID that came, that they thought that would be on the streets. I pray to God, and may the souls of my ancestors carry this, that in their bid to create vaccines to wipe out Black
Okay, people, as you can see, it's not possible to continue the conversation with Sister Reparation because of the internet quality. And yeah, it is it is so amazing. Most of the conversations that we really have to put some stuff, express ourselves and structurize and plan for the development of Africa. This Agenda 2063 is not just going to be without changing, without revolutions, without people expressing their, because sometimes it's like we have to. Africa needs power. There's just no way. The kind of Western democracy that these Democrats or thinking people think that it will happen in Africa, that's not going to happen because the same people or the Americans or the Europeans that are asking for this democracy in Africa, they did not come to Africa in a democratic way in 1884. Okay? I mean, stealing of resources and the kind of inhuman problems that they caused on this continent. So they cannot sit back now and talk to our leadership and say, oh no, you have to do the democratic processes because you never did the same. You never. We remember all the Maji Maji revolution, the Mau Mau rebellion, every other rebellion. Africa has always stood by force to get the things. And I don't even see any other country in the world that doesn't get their own things by force, by every means necessary. So the young people are sick and tired and they say, no, it's enough. And what we are beginning to see is just a thing, only a little bit of it. Just a little bit of it, because at some point, when the people are hungry, they will eat up the rich people. That's the fact. When people will not be able to feed themselves, feeding food, when people will not be able to feed themselves, no, they would cross over the ocean. No amount of walls or barriers you can put. And I remember this, even a British journalist said it when we just arrived Germany. I think that was in 2000 or 1999. And he said this when the first wave of migration was coming to Europe. And he said, if you don't fix the issues back on the continent of Africa, you're going to see more of this happen. And ever since then, a lot has been happening. So, I mean, I think Africans are sick and tired. They're not dumb as you think, because people are civilized, they are responsible. People are quiet. Some people are just resilient. You know, they just sit quiet and say, you know what, enough. I just want to get my peace. I go to the farm, I work, I feed my family, and that's good. But for how long? The young people, look at the growing young population. That's the challenge we are dealing with. This population is exploding. It's exploding. And the commodities, the resources are not matching. You cannot take policies that you do out in the West and bring it on the continent of Africa. Come on, give me a break, people. You can't. I mean, if we are civilized and we say we are developmental expert, you cannot take, you know that there's no one medicine that cures every disease. There is none. What are we talking about? I mean, the fact that, I mean, mothers are going to, you hear them speaking. And believe me, when the Amazons will rise up, and they are rising up in their numbers, because of what use, the African child will say, of what use? A country that you keep telling them they are so rich. What is the problem? What is the dynamic of getting a rich continent that becomes now like the grass where the elephants are fighting? Everybody wants a piece. As if 1884 we've not learned from the past. Now we begin to go around playing politics, manipulating people, fooling your youth every day, fooling the African people every day. No, I'm going to do that. It doesn't work. Africans are saying this is not working in Africa. Let's go back to our kingdom and chief rules. Let's go back to our traditional African spirituality. How did we manage our resources on the continent? How did we do that? Let's talk to the elders. They have all the solutions that we need. So there's just even no reason for us going on the street again, like my sister said. No, nobody's going to die on your street anymore. If you think you want to push the young people on the street so that you can begin to manipulate them, no, no youth is going to do that. We are saying this is the last and never again. It happened in Kenya. It would not happen elsewhere again. We're staying at home. Okay, we're asking the young people to stock enough food. We'll go to our farms. There's just a lot. We'll go to our farms, we'll walk from our farms, we'll eat from there. We're not shopping anything. We have enough. We're going back to the times where we don't even know weathers are so good. What are we looking for? Keep buying trash on the continent. I said it the same day here too. That if you look at the malls that is coming up, it's like a dumping place, people. Okay. Of course, how many malls? China malls, and they have a developmental plan for 200 years. Do you hear me? Where Africans going to create their own jobs? Where they're going to create their own jobs? Who is going to buy from the African market? Because the economic of production, the economy of scales, Africans cannot bring all this junk food kind of stuff, pesticides and everything. No, we just go back to a traditional ancient African system unapologetically. We have to stop all this play back and playing of development, technology, modernism, and this and that. What did it bring to you, Africa? What? Just in a few hands, in a few class of people. Because it's never our lifestyle. It's never our lifestyle. Okay? So, I mean, you heard it. It was very short. It was very straight to the point. I mean, we still really had shared a lot, on the context of the experiences she got from the continent, but she just doesn't even want to talk about pleasantries. She doesn't just even have the attention or the energy to be talking about, what the experiences she gets. She just said, no, like she said, all the institution that Kwame Nkrumah built, all are gone. You look at it everywhere in every African country. While Europe is preserving its museums for its old cities, okay, its architecture. You go to Europe, you get a house that has been built for how many? 1700. They preserve it. And when any revolution happens, they burn down our own and tear down everything so that we don't have any history left. So they keep wiping our own history. No, young people have to be clever enough. We don't need any burning of streets. We don't need any destruction of any infrastructure, because that is not even the African way of revolting. It is still this political, too much long sense of we know how to do politics. The kind of politics that people kill each other. The kind of politics that it's a must, it's an imposition. So how fair is this? How fair? It's now or never. Young people, you have to claim your country. I mean, when we talk about China, they did it. They had to go. At a certain point, we've been saying it all the time. We heard about wars in the past. We never fought some. Most countries that are on their feet, they say, never. Yes, we're going to suffer for a couple of years. But we have to get our Africa back. We have to get our natural resources. We want to live in peace. Just that alone. You come and be fighting on people and just killing people, and you're doing some business in the air as if the business of war is so lucrative. Who does that? And we stand on pulpits and we argue and talk about how we're so civilized to deal with the world. But we said it, the world is not stones. The world is not just made of trees that you plant. The world is made of people who think. And the most difficult thing to manage is people who have their values, who understand what they want, who want to live their life the way they want it. Okay, regardless of what you have, they just want to live the way they want. Is it easy? Is it difficult to understand that? It's very challenging, okay? It's really, really One Africa. You heard it. There was a demonstration. Even I don't know. They just kind of like concealed it. And the young people are going door by door and say one Africa currency, one passport, one nationality, one everything. We are 1.4 billion. Give us just 1 billion will go on the street. And because every day the young people express themselves, you bring tear gases. You chase them back into their homes. You murder them. You kill your own. I mean, like, even if we're talking about other developments, this African thing, African leadership is not working. And the kind of format that we do, we're struggling, yes, but just imagine if we do it the way we want to do our stuff. I don't see people holding guns on people's heads saying you have to do this, you must do this. I mean, it's really enough. Our hearts are bleeding for these children that are murdered on the street in Kenya. And it's not just only Kenya. Of course, we know that in every corner of Africa where bullets are raining, people's lives are being lost. And you just ask yourself, who are you to really take people's lives away? Did you give anybody life? Can you create a life? You want to leave, everybody wants to leave. Why don't you just kill your own self? It's really enough. I mean, it's sometimes the queens of the continent are mobilizing. How did they, Harriet Tubman made it? How did then Queen Zinga did it? How did they do it? How did the Amazons of the Agoge of the Benin kingdoms, how did they do it? Okay. How did they do it? We're too comfortable. Pleasantry, entertainment, people. Every day we're slaying, throwing money on the streets. How rich we are. Just the other day, Nigerian celebrities are sparing money, and that's a new African lifestyle that Africa. You go to their neighborhoods, the children cannot even have food. What is wrong with us? I mean, Europe, they can proud, they can do their own things. Celebrity in the West, they can spill their money, everything. When you talk to African, they'll say, because you cannot get. What is wrong with us? What is wrong with us? Must we do all those bills until people are really satisfied, until you yourself can walk around safe in your own country? You are not even safe. You have to walk around with bodyguards and stuff like that. I mean, sometimes we have to look into ourselves and ask, why is this going on? Because even the little number of Black celebrities that we do, they're not doing anything for their communities. Nothing. It's a shame. Okay. And we go and say, oh, we shut social media down, and we're spraying dollars and this and that. Go and create your own currency and feed your own people first. All right. I mean, we must move ahead, people. We must move ahead. Why are we saying like that? We didn't see some troops coming from outside to come and fire at these children that we lost in Kenya. It was our own selves. The same very leaders that stand before you and take an oath. And I remember Maponga Joshua said it. It's because we're taking oath on the wrong things. Go to your village and swear on your traditional food store of your ancestors and come and rule the country. Let's see. Why are you running away from your culture? You Africans, you don't know your culture anymore. You don't know your traditions. You don't know your customs. You don't know your beliefs. You don't know how you come and commemorate and put systems in order. How did your ancestors build the world? How were the pyramids built? How did they build great institutes like the Songa and all these kingdoms and empires? How did they do it with no social media? Nothing at that time. No phones, no gramophones. How did they share information? How did they communicate between one another? Why is this so difficult? Now we have everything and we cannot do anything. What kind of a generation? Because we were bamboozled. We were taught another person's culture, another person's education, another person's religion. Africa, you better take your place and play the role of the Africa that you are. We can sweet tongue, we can teach all kind of theories, but if we don't wake up and have people to implement it, like my sister said, and I will never use that word, that is going to happen again. It will never happen again. The scramble of Africa will not. Will not. It will not. We will do business with you. We will negotiate on fair terms. Okay? And Africans are waking up because we're teaching them every day not to buy cheap things, not to buy fake things, and they know it, and you're going to shut your mouths and you go back. You're not solving any problem here. When you bring your engineers, they build our roads, you bring them, they work and assemble all the things. What's the difference? We don't need you. Go back home. Some people also told us to go back home and we left. We learned also from civilizations to better our own place. Europe put a lot of infrastructures, put a lot of means to stop illegal immigration. Yes, Africa, you have to do that so. You have to do same too. Okay? You have to do same. Let everybody sit where they are and then develop their own communities. Don't give no loans, no scholarship. We don't need all that. For what? We'll go back to the system of working in our like our original people. We go back to that system. We didn't need any security services. We didn't need people looking out the road. We didn't even need people telling you have to do that. We didn't need it. Did we ever need it? Who came to who first? That's the question. Who came to who? Did you see me at your doorsteps first? But you taught me your religion, you taught me your education, you thought I will be the same person. No, I'm just the product of what you actually produce. Okay. And so, hey, Africans, it's your time. Wake up and fight for your continent. Yes. Wake up and fight for your continent. There's nothing that is powerless in the world. You can talk and talk and talk. You don't have institutions that have laws that govern and hold each other accountable, leadership accountable, every individual, not just even only. I told you about the story of how powerful some nations are. That you see, they call them, oh, it's a police nation. No, it's not a police nation because people are wearing the police attires and they're on the street. No, it's a police nation because every single citizen is a police to each other. You watch my back, I watch your back. That's the way the systems of the world are. That's why you see some other systems, civilization, they're so proud of themselves. Even though they come in a corny way, you know, they will tell you, no, we're coming as visitors. All right. But when you want to visit, no, you don't have a right. You have to prove and prove and prove and prove because now you're coming to stay. When will Africa put that kind of accountability? Africans themselves holding themselves accountable for all our actions. Talk less of the leadership. Who are the ones surrounding the leadership? Just a clan of people who keep turning around in the same space. It's not going to work. That's not the Africa. Give Africa 5 to 10 years. You're going to see what is going to happen. You would see what is happening. It's already happening. It's coming back. And no amount of guns and weapons would stop it. When people are hungry, they will go to the street. They will eat from you. Okay? So you can fly your kids to go and study abroad or do any other thing. Go, let them leave the Africa for us. We'll fix it. Nobody even needs it. Okay? So it's more than less problem. Thank you so much, my people. Yep. Yeah, of course. We need to be taking and flying and doing what? And emptying our continent. Thank God we even have the biggest weapon that we have is our population. That is the biggest weapon that no weapon can surpass it. The population and the growing Africa. I mean, even when we get, we get woke up with such news, and that we're aggressive in the way we attack situations, we do know what the truth is going to be in the future. Nothing would hide it. Nothing will stop this continent from being the continent that was originally the human creation. Nothing would stop it. Kill all Africans. The trees and the birds and the rivers would rise up on this Africa, because it is the source of all human evidence. It is. All the civilizations, you can grow in your own thing. The thing is, leave our Africa in peace. Just leave us the way we are. Let's be uncivilized. We're primitive people. So what? Yes, we love being primitive. Who doesn't like it? Isn't it you that say we're walking barefooted? Who are the ones that are walking naked now in the street? Isn't it you that we're saying, oh, our buttocks are, we have large mouth and thick lips and this? Who are the ones that are paying so much money to get that? Who? You know. So please, people, I beg. Our condolences out there. Like we said, we have set out how many days? 4 days for mourning our children that we murdered in the streets of Kenya, and all other streets in Africa, where you find this kind of crazy situation in the 21st century. In the 21st century, it's happening. But Africa is not only happening because it's us speaking here, it is happening everywhere. It is happening everywhere. The invisible hand that wants to take upon the control of everything, you cannot manage it alone. What is the population of the world? If you want to be the overall commander, the one system ruler, it never would work, because you're dealing with people. And people have feelings. People think, okay? People think for themselves. No matter what you do, now it's even still the point where, even like China come in with your pocket money and your stuff. Just imagine that this generation that is coming will not be interested in your money. They won't. They will not be interested in your money. They won't buy from you. You would pack and go. It's a simple bad business. Wait, Africans are rising up. Look at them all over the space. You gave us the technology. Before even you gave us the technology, we had it. But we're peaceful people. But when you keep pushing and pushing and pushing the African people and people of the world that are voiceless, what do you think is going to happen? You can't kill the whole world. Who are you going to stay with? Who are you going to do business with? Of course, at least. So you need people. You need people. There's no pleasantry again. We're not here to entertain anybody. We're not entertaining anybody. Have you seen us sold anything for you? No. We're not here to do some entertainment programs because they keep asking you to, do this and do this, create content, and everybody's a content creator. For what? To leave? You sell your countries. Africans have become even sell out on social media. Okay? Instead of using it to revolutionize, to teach your people, to learn from other civilizations and see how we build. Go to other countries and see how they use social media. Okay? I would ask myself, why do you want to give me your AdSense? Why do you want me to create content for you? So you just like employing me. And I have to be happy because you don't know who you are. If you knew who you are and you know what this continent is, I don't know any continent that, even when we say rich, not only in mineral resources, I mean, just being on the continent, the way Africans share with one another. I mean, go into any, our spirituality is our celebrations. Whether it's a death ceremony, it's a marriage ceremony, it's a birthday, it's a festival, all African cultures is what we call African spirituality. Because when we talk about spirituality, people always thinking, oh no, we have to go to a house, we have to do this. How many thousands of people? Africans are spiritual being by nature. You see it at their festivals. You see the way they manifest and they act. You look at them, you're like, these are not human beings, this is spirit. Of course we are a spirit having a human experience. So people, it's enough. We're really saddened by this situation, and now the Kenyan youth to say we don't even need your apology anymore, Mr. President. Anyway, we can support you till 2025 or 2027, whatever time the elections are coming. But you see how just one single thing, because you take people for granted, because you think you can sweet talk anybody. You can fool some people, but you can't fool all the people all the time. When we dance to it, what do we say? What do we hear? So, my dear beloved Africans, I want to thank you and apologize for the situation that our sister cannot continue. But we're gonna keep it on. We're not here to create content. No, we're not. We're not. They have to be stepping down one after the other. If you cannot rule, give it to another person who is competent, who will still love you as a president. Not everybody must be everywhere. Okay, not everybody must be a celebrity. Some of us we like just not being. We're just the background people, the hand clappers, and we're so happy about that function. I have to switch off my phone before it leaves us. So anyway, my beloved people, I'm so sorry I didn't even shout out on you. I didn't even like give you a shout out. We know that a lot is coming up. While we talk about the challenges, we also talk about the solutions and the opportunities. So we can't wait to celebrate our brother Marshall Lawrence, Marshall from the Dominican, Saint Dominica Republic, and yeah, and Marshall would be coming into a new age. Marshall has been very proactive on the situation in Kenya on the ground, and yeah, so that's how it is. And we're also giving a shout out to Professor Mark Anthony Akumbo, who celebrates also today his birthday, and all of you that are celebrating. Of course, we mourn. That's the African spirituality. As we are mourning our children in Kenya, it's the same thing. We are celebrating those that are celebrating. We're celebrating and happy with those that came to the world. We know a lot of babies, male and female, have been born on the continent of Africa. So that is it. Yes. Of course, we're going to learn our Swahili. Don't worry, sister. Becca, don't worry. Thank you. I hear you. I read you. We're just going to open it up. Don't worry. We're coming up with a fresh website, and we'll be streaming live on our platforms, and nobody's going to bring us down or any internet or anything. You think Africans are fools? We had already said it in 2020. We're going to get your gongs ready, African people. You know what the gongs is? I showed you. Oh my God, I don't have anyone around me. I'll bring it on the show tomorrow. Make sure you get your gongs ready and put it in your house. Get your gongs ready. Gongs was exactly the musical instrument. Today we use it for musical instrument, but this is the method of communication that we used to communicate, whether they're your djembes, okay, or just we have a lot of instruments that we use to pass announcements in those days. So if we're cut off from all these social media stuff, we'll know where to find each other. You have to be prepared. Don't just sit and always think, oh, everything is good. They're going to shut down and cut all the lights and everything. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? I was just talking with my mom the other day. We're buying this, this bush lamb that I grew up in the village, and that's what we're using. It's just that China has just messed up everything, and they're bringing some low quality, but the original ones, we're looking for them in the villages. Yes, because we have to start getting adapted to these things. Call us old school. We don't care. Yes. Call us old school. Call us the primitive, the village people, the queens that don't know how to, do whatever. We agree, but we want Africa back, because that's how we used to be, and we were so happy. We were plentiful. Doesn't mean we didn't have challenge. We had challenge. Even you all also had challenges. You had it, okay? So we have to go back to our ancestral worship, to African spirituality. And to be honest with you, we don't need you. If you're already comfortable where you are with whatever religion or whatever circumstances, it's okay. That's just so fine. And we're not going to refuse anybody because of the color of their skin or because of their religion or whatever. But we're just saying the chosen are already there. They know who their names are. They know what their responsibility is. They know why they were called into this mission. They don't need to bother about that. So we're not going to take, the revolution is not going to carry everybody along. It's just going to be the few and the chosen that believe in it. I've never seen, it only took 12 disciples. Okay. So no more. No more. We cannot. The new spirit is right here. The new spirit is here. I mean, don't tell me there's no African. I was just on TikTok and we before, just to invite them to watch this conversation. But the thing that I keep telling my children, or I keep telling those who actually say, I want to hear your voice, no matter how cracky it is, Dr. Tata. I keep telling them there's no African that can say they have not heard the good news. There is no African now, as we speak in this generation, that will say they don't know the Africa agenda, that Africa is going to its renaissance to become the greatest nation on earth again. There's no African that can tell me that, except something is absolutely, except you are just African, but not African in your spirit. But even those that you're considering as non-Africans, they have the agenda in their hands and they're well prepared. They are well prepared. So what about you, custodians, stakeholders of the continent that has been keeping everything in place? So the stranger is going to come from outside and take everything and collect everything. The thief, like the Bible said, the thief comes in the night. So they'll come in the night and steal everything and go. And you'll be there saying, no, I have to watch and pray. Of course, watch and pray, but be awoke. Be like soldiers. Know your neighborhood. Know who does what. Why there is their purpose here. For what reason? Of course, you walk around. You're super intelligent, you know. But do you know the consequences? Do you know the consequences? Just like my sister Reparations said, we need reparations because once the reparations come, that's the only thing you can talk about respect. People come, maim you, tame you, do everything with you that they want, and you're still there. How would they show you respect? At one point, you have to say, hey, you know what? Stop. Stop it right here. That's the only time some people know how to hit their hands on the table, or to put their fist. That's the only language some people understand. And if it takes us that to do it, let's do it. Let's do it. If it would take us that to do it, let's do it. If love, the way we know love is, has become something else to the perpetrators of love. If peace that we carry leaves and dance and used to bring peace, they give you another kind of a shake. If kindness, like we say, kindness, or all these kind of words that when you put into the deeper meaning of the creators, it makes no sense. So probably it's the opposite of these words that makes sense, because that's exactly what it teaches. Okay. So I want to thank all of you. Where's the love? Where is the love? My God. Yes, Madi, where is it? Where is it? Where is it that a father would call on the mothering of his children? They say 20 to me, I say it's more. It's always more. Any number that they give concerning Africa is always more than that, more than what they write. But the house is on heat. The continent is on heat. It's not going to happen like that again. You bring peace, we're in peace. You bring war, please. What's the problem? So I want to thank you. Reparations, I see you in the chat. I'm so sorry, sister. It didn't go the way we planned, but your message was good. I mean, if you're joining me now, we're rounding up in 1 minute. This show is going to be out now. We see ourselves tomorrow, but please, you just don't want to miss the first 10, 15 minutes of this conversation. Watch it up till about, half an hour, and you get the message. It was short, it was pregnant, it was powerful, and that's how this kind of messages come. She just came, she dropped it, and disappeared. But you've heard it 3 days, and game over. Game over. So let me wish you a good night. And oh, Cheryl, thank you, thank you, thank you. How is it, Cheryl? How was our visit? You know, how is our husband doing? How's the brother doing? How's all of you doing? So I'll be ending up, and we'll see yourselves tomorrow. And yeah, like we say, we keep it on. We're not here for a joke, okay? So peace be with you. Peace and love to your families, and stay blessed. And we're going to be seeing who we're going to have on the show as a guest. I mean, the issue on Kenya is still burning. We just done all the programs that we had planned. Everybody was just like, we suspended it just to mourn, for this life lost. People can, like I said, people die every day. We all going to die at some point in time. Nobody knows whether tomorrow or today or whatever. But I shouldn't die just for talking about what you promised me and never did. And I asked and I questioned, or I said, I don't think that's fair. Then I'm killed for that. That is something else. That is more than just dying. Okay? So our heart and our condolence is to our youth there. And our people of Kenya, we are sorrowing with you people. Okay, and we're still really close because our hearts are beating. Okay, our hearts are painful. We don't want to see that again. Like my sister said, no African person, no African child should die just for asking for bread. That was asking for bread. And the Bible say, do you think I'm a bad father that when you ask bread, I will give you stones? Or when you ask for bread, I will give you snakes? But which kind of fathers are these now? Which ones are these that you ask for bread, they give you a bullet? Which ones? What kind of messages can we preach at these altars? And as a matter of fact, this is a family that are here. They only live on prayers and the Bible. You see why people just really just don't say, they don't trust anything. Because the same things that you do, the same things that you sit and say, you just do something else. Okay, yeah. Love to all of you. Love to all of you out there, my people. And we see us tomorrow, same time or earlier, or I don't know. We still on the topic of Kenya. Okay, so good night to all of you. Bye-bye.
You are watching the Pan-African Daily TV with Dr. Susan Tata. The Africa we want. Unity, consciousness, our culture, our spirituality, our history. One Africa for Africans worldwide. Motherlands calling its diaspora home. Join my voice. Join my team. Join my campaign. Campaign 21 hashtag 1 million subscribers on the Pan-African Daily TV YouTube. Be a volunteer. Apply now. Be the new Africa.